Welcome back to the Guile treatment and our two-part episode with our friends from across the pond, Mike Hardiman and Big Dan Austin.
Hello.
We just got done recording the Mortal Kombat / kind of, trip down whatever lane we went to, because sometimes we just don't stay on topic. But we're going to try to stay on topic and talk about the upcoming major event for those guys. The UK Nationals is coming up. In a month, we said, I think. So with Mortal Kombat not having, we kind of piggyback off some of the Mortal Kombat stuff and say that we don't really have a set meta yet. But I don't think we ever will, because maybe after US Nats.
How about we start off and say, all right, guys, if I'm in the US and I really want to come to UK Nationals.
There you go.
And,
see, Rob's a way better host than I am.
Price is no object. I just need to figure out where to go, how to get there. What would your guys' recommendation be? Like, where should I fly to? Like, where should I stay? Like, how long should I be there for?
Where should I eat?
Yeah. Yeah. if I don't want, weird, like...
Well, if I just want to eat fish and chips all week and gain back all the weight that I lost...
that's okay.
Fish and chips are good.
I think I can take that. Obviously, Sheffield is more northern of the country than most groups. So, well, actually, not anymore. Used to be. So you'd probably want to fly into Manchester Airport. It's got a lot. It's one of the big airports in the UK, and there's a lot of places it does fly direct from the US. Unfortunately, nowhere they hold UFS events for cardboard. It's irritating.
You could probably do a transfer or something.
Yeah. But even with one transfer, you tend to get a pretty easy ride. There is a direct train from the airport into Sheffield, which is amazing. It takes about an hour and a half, which is long for a train journey over here, but also short, so it works.
Is it through the countryside?
It's better than renting a car, so...
Yeah, you don't... If you haven't driven on UK roads before, you don't want to.
Yeah, I've been in a bus on a UK road, and that's just... Yeah, it's very, very...
You fear for your life.
Yeah.
I'd avoid buses as much as you can. In terms of hotel to stay at, you definitely want to stay probably at the Jury's Inn or the Mercure Hotel, both within a 2 minutes walking distance from the store's location nowadays.
Okay.
They're both slightly expensive. You could probably get a Holiday Inn or something for cheaper, but if you come into the UK, you don't want to stay in.
Pretty much, yeah.
No, you want to. You're gonna enjoy yourself. So
yeah.
Spend the extra money.
Plus, that's where a lot of the other people will be staying anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If money was an issue, then I'm sure I could find floor space or something for you at my house. I think Shane and JT are going to be staying with me while they're over here.
Oh, cool.
To cut down on costs for them.
They're both coming over. I thought it was just Shane.
Yeah, both Shane and JT, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
No, we have no pets as well, so no allergies. Does that help?
You've got Grant. He could be a bit of an animal.
Grant doesn't live with me.
Dude, I gotta say, I loved that the recent tournament you had, that he was in there as Grunt.
Yeah, we kind of have nicknames. So Sean, who is the works at the store and got into UFS over the last year and a half.
Cool.
Pushes it as much as he can, and very old friend of mine. We call him CERN now. He's not Sean, he's CERN. And so there's that, and obviously Richard Bazendale is Baz for the longest time.
Yeah.
So we can't just getting nicknames and everything for everybody, just so we can. Makes it a bit more personal as well. Yeah, I'd stay at one of the hotels in the city centre. Everywhere is pretty close. For the most part, the city centre is nice. The UK as a whole does have a bit of an issue with a drug at the moment called spice. So you might see a few unsavoury characters might try and come up to you, but you just ignore them. That's what you have to do.
And this has been your public service announcement.
Yeah, don't make eye contact. Tell them you've got no change, even if you have.
Just keep your hands in your pocket so it doesn't jiggle or anything like that.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Yeah, there's plenty of bars and restaurants and things in the city centre as well.
Because we
tend to have a group outing.
Cool.
afterwards. It tends to just be pizza because that's the only place that will happily fit the number.
Dude, we went to that like Pizza Hut and it was like a real restaurant. I was like, I'm dead serious. We were like, we'll go to Pizza Hut, and I was like, why are we going to Pizza Hut? And then we go to the like actual pizza. I was like, this is like a sit down, like
It's classy
someone
Pizza
comes
Hut?
to your table. I was
Oh
like,
wow!
what is going on? Yeah, like
That's pretty much every pizza in the UK though. You get it's like an actual restaurant. You just serve greasy pizza.
Oh,
yeah.
hey.
I mean, the pizza was pretty much the same, but
Yeah,
you know, it
yeah.
was the service and sort of like layout was much different.
Yeah. And the best part is you don't have to tip
Really?
because they get paid a real wage.
Oh wow! Oh, that's cool. Awesome.
Hey, if it's amazing service, yeah, sure, tip. But
Mhm.
for anyone who comes over here, you don't need to worry about it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
But then again,
You're not a bad person if you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
Whereas when we
They
go to you, we feel bad if we don't.
I know, like, some things, so because I came last year, like, obviously, if you want to go, like, make sure your passport is up to date, or at least close. That was actually one of the nice things. I realized, like, a week or two before I went that my passport was going to, like, expire in November, when the tournament was October. And I was like, that's fine. And then I started looking at it. There's so many places in, like, Europe that want you to have at least, like, 3 months out, or they won't let you into the country because I guess the idea is if something happens to you, then and you end up stuck there, they don't want your passport to expire while you're there.
Oh.
And so I was like really, really worried, but the UK doesn't care. They'll let you in. Like they don't care at all.
Yeah, we're pretty casual with that.
And it kind of depends, I think, on like if you have a flight transfer. So I had a flight transfer through Iceland, and they do care. But if you're flying into the international terminal, as long as you don't leave, you're fine. They just kind of wave you through to your next flight, and like you don't have to like check your documents or anything. But that's something to be aware of. Like I don't know if there are other transfers where it might be an issue. The other thing is, I guess, like cell phone service. I know I have like AT&T, and they have like some kind of like plan that you can just kind of like turn on if you're using it, where it's like a couple dollars each day that you use it. And like I'm sure there's similar things for like Verizon, Sprint, like whatever, other people might have, where just, I guess, sort of like check it out, like figure out what your options are on that, because like that's sort of like really helpful to just, even have like some service like internet, GPS, stuff like that to figure out like where you're going. And, just so you can like call like people you traveled with or other people there. Again, just if you're like, where is everybody, where'd you guys go? I went over here. It's just sort of in the world we live in, like not having a cell phone for like however many days is going to be a little like, whoa.
Yeah.
How do I get in touch with these people? Like, there's no like pay phones. There's no whatever like anymore. So,
Okay.
So, Sheffield in particular has actually just set up pretty much a Wi-Fi network throughout the entire city.
Oh wow!
It's free to use. It's not the fastest, but if you don't have one of those kind of things, I know when I've been to the US before, if I tried to use my phone, it would have cost me about £1,000 for the time I was over there. That's just a few days. So thankfully, my phone contract I'm on nowadays, it lets me roam pretty much anywhere in the world for free at no extra charge at all. So at least you can get Wi-Fi, so you'd be able to like Skype or Facebook call people and still be able to.
But if you're doing that, like make sure you're in like airplane mode or something, because like that's the thing is like if your phone, like if you just have it on and it just goes like, oh, I can get signal over here, like you're screwed.
Yeah.
So like, right. If you're not doing a plan, like make sure that you have like the antenna and everything turned off so you can still use the Wi-Fi, but like it's not going to try to connect to a network.
Yeah. All right. I don't know. Do you have anything else, Mike, about the living situations? Anything else? Because we can just move. We can dive right into the tournament part of the.
I don't think so. I mean, like where to stay, how to get there, that kind of thing. If you were completely stuck and trains are just not your kind of thing for any sort of reason, or some people struggle with being in public, but if you get on an airplane, I assume you can get on a train.
Yeah.
There are people who are willing to, pick you up, that kind of thing. I know one of our locals, Dave, drove to and from London to pick Rob and some other guys up, round trip and everything. Last year,
gosh, like he was like our hero. Again, we didn't realize it was like that long, and then especially when we had to go back, oh my gosh, him, because he had to drive us from Sheffield to the airport to make our flight and then turn around and drive back. So it's basically an 8-hour drive. And they're like, oh, if you just give him some gas money, and we were like, we'll give him gas money and whatever we have left. This is a terrible drive. So he really. So that's sort of why I ask is right. If you can, don't fly to London. Fly to like you said, Manchester, one of these more northern places, so that it's a lot easier to get to and from.
Mm-hmm.
There are a couple of there is an airport. There are maybe 1-2 airports slightly closer to Manchester, but you'd be changing 3-4 times and on your journey there, and it's just so expensive.
Sure,
it's not worth it.
Yep.
Just fly to Manchester, get that 1.5 hour train.
That's the easiest route to take for it,
Yeah.
Okay, so moving in. So Dan, you are how far away from Sheffield? You're quite distant south, right?
I'm about 2.5 to 3 hours away.
Okay, so your group isn't inclusive with Mike's group, right? You guys don't.
No.
Okay.
Not
So
really, no.
now, what other? There's the Ireland group or the Scotland group now, right? That just kind of
Scotland. Yeah, they're very active, and I'm looking forward to meeting a lot of those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know a couple of.
It's gonna be a sweet rivalry.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If they want a rivalry, I'm more happy with that.
Bring it on.
As long as it's a friendly rivalry.
Yeah. Of course. Of course.
People first, rivalry second.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to meeting a lot of those guys. There is a Doncaster group. That's a local place, Sheffield, half an hour, 45 minutes away. So they just with those every now and again when we have events. They're quite to the store though, but so they tend to come to more. As also a group in Newcastle, which are some great guys. They've come out to us a couple of times. I to them myself, hoping to get to see more of them. And there's quieter people around as well. We've got seen those few templars have been around a while now, but that seems to be growing. And there's quite a few random places that are growing that aren't too out. So please don't ask for any sort of estimate. I could say there's 20 people and then there'd be more. I could say there'd be more and there'd be less, and I just don't know. And I'm just looking forward to hopefully being pleasantly surprised.
Good.
I think what was it last year? Wasn't it around 30 or 40 or something?
Well, we got 40 last year, which is that was better than I was expecting. So we had a couple of really bad years. So the UK has always had a weird number. I think the first Nats was I wasn't there, but it was close to 200 people.
Oh I was at that one. Yeah.
That was when Scott Menson, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was in Nottingham.
And then, were you at the second one, Dan?
Yeah, that was a similar number.
That was a similar number.
Yeah, that's when JJ won.
3 years, that was 07, 08. And then 2009, Joe won. It was 50.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It fell off fast, huh?
Obviously, that was the 4-point era, and they just announced the forced rotation. But we weren't doing that. So we were still 4-point at that time. That was actually my first nationals. Lost to Joe in top 4. Sad times.
I have that video as well of that event.
And then, sorry?
I have that video of that event as well with you with long hair.
I didn't have that long hair at that point.
I've got the video to prove it.
wasn't that long. It's been longer.
I kind of remember a Mike Hardiman with long hair. I kind of remember that when I first met him. I remember that. I think it was at Gen Con you had long hair, if I remember correctly.
And then 2010 there was a Nats, but it was while the game was dead. And props to Jasco, they were going to honor the card for that, but the guy kind of dropped off the face of the earth and stopped being involved with it, so it never happened. I don't know how many people were there, but 2011 was like the first one after that, which was like 25. Then we got to mid-30s, then 40s, and then it got dropped down again, and then it picked back up. So it tends to be between 30 and 40 at the minute.
Mm-hmm.
It's decent enough. I know there's a lot of people that only play like Kitchen Top.
Yeah.
I do know that for a fact. So, and I know there's a lot of random stores that just started stocking it with Street Fighter,
mm-hmm.
and in like game shops. So, like you would have, I don't GameStop or something. There's been similar stores that have stocked at the very least Street Fighter that I've seen. So, in terms of actual numbers, I don't know how many people play it, but
yeah,
I think it's too representative. The problem is that you say it's only a 2-3 hour, like Dan's only like 2-3 hours away, sort of driving.
Yeah.
But you get a train, it takes quite a lot longer, and that journey's quite devastating.
Yeah.
And I know US players, they'll drive for like 7-8 hours, things like that.
Hmm?
Or in some cases.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like driving in the U.S. is a bit more affordable than driving in the U.K. as well.
Yeah.
Just like gas prices and everything like that.
Like if I wanted to price up how much it would be for me to like get a car and everything, theoretically, if I passed, it would cost me maybe £500 a month at least to run it, which is nearly half my wage after taxes.
Right.
And so that's just so to then add on the cost of like petrol and things like that to drive somewhere that long away. It's just not very feasible. And UK roads are bad.
Yeah.
Not very big.
So let's hope. I'm with you in hoping that you guys hit upper 40s. Like you just keep growing because it seems like the game is growing because you're gonna have the Scotland guys come down and then you may have some people come out of the woodwork. So that seems like it's very possible you guys will hit over 40. So I'm hoping that happens. For the tournament itself, I know we kind of touched on with this on the meta talk with the Mortal Kombat stuff. What are your top what are both your guys? Because I kind of forget Dan's still there because he's just a little. It's okay.
I'm very quiet. I'm sorry.
It's fine. No, it's all right because he's just a picture with a thumbs up. So
I don't even get that. I just get a DA.
Oh, do you? Oh.
I'm there in spirit.
What do you guys? I guess the way is, what do you think the top tables are going to look like? Like not like now it's not going to be all Bebop guys, obviously, because we got Mortal Kombat. Do you think any pre-Bebop characters are going to be in those top tables come time? I would say pre-diversity.
Chris, it's the UK. Of course there will be.
Oh, that's true. There may be some random fatality pyron going on. I don't know. So.
Don't give it away.
I'll let Dan go first on that.
I think where some of the characters, obviously, they got their boost from like MK, will probably make a strong appearance. Like I think Lily will make a good appearance. Some of the stuff that she gained is made her quite. What's that look for, Mike?
You said Lily, and I couldn't get it.
I know I'm still coughing because of it.
I've killed Chris. All good?
Yeah, I'm good. Let's drink some water. Phew, went down the wrong pipe.
I said earlier that Turbo Man, I think, would be really good now to sit top tables. Who else we got? Obviously, you're still going to see some of the Bebop characters, obviously, like Fight 1 and 2, and Jet, obviously, because he gained an unnecessary boost from MK as well, which is...
That's true.
And then I think obviously you play Vicious as well. I think he'll make a good splash because of the amount of like the amount of zero diffs and 6 checks that Evil have somehow gained is a bit daunting because like he's become like a machine when he just keeps going. Who else? I'm trying to think. Who else we got?
Do you think while you're looking, do you think that? I guess let's say like, do you think Bebop will still be like top 4
I'm not
to
sure.
6?
I think there are some like MK characters. I think Quan Chi would be one of those characters that could take UK National. The 3 characters I think that could possibly take UK would be either Quan Chi, Kotal Khan, or maybe Liu Kang.
Yeah. Okay.
They're the 3 that stand out that could either finish either in the top 2, I reckon, of the whole event. Because from what they do, obviously Quan Chi can draw the game out as long as he wants until your opponent sort of overextends, and you can start backswing, you're done. And like Kotal Khan can literally just make anything too big to deal with and literally just keep putting on the pressure. And then obviously you got these decks like obviously Jet loves to play his old Black Dog's Fangs. Liu Kang's like, okay, I'm going to block, make it harder for you to loop your Grave and Castle Runes and slow you down to his pace sort of thing. But then it's like you've got Spike 2 will probably just come out of the woodwork as well with Devora's attack, which would be really annoying to deal with. But yeah, I think a few of the MK characters will make a splash.
Okay.
Not all of them, but some of them.
Mike, your thoughts?
So in terms of characters that might be at the top tables that aren't Bebop, I think the biggest one Dan missed was Vega.
Oh, my bad.
Like off of both Death or Evil, he gained so much out of FA that like it's insane. So in that vein, you could kind of say pretty much any Death or Evil character with 7-hand size, Bebop has a chance. Just because of the strength of MK. Yamato Man's another big one. Like, he's always been a contender, and I think he always will for as long as he's around. Just because he has a good amount of board presence and control to the point of he messes with them enough.
Yeah.
I want to say Dalsim for Tim Keith, because I know how much he loves his Dalsim, but I don't know. Other than that, I've always been like a fan of Guile myself. Like I drew over one to turn him into Captain America just because I thought it was funny. But he definitely gained a lot. But whether he's good enough,
like he's one of those characters. Like he gained a lot, but he also lost a lot. Like he more than a lot of other characters really liked some of those cards in Neomax. So it's sort of like with him, I feel like you almost have to like kind of start over upon like what your deck's doing, at least like some of the foundations and stuff. But I think he's still like pretty good. I mean, obviously last year I think Jack Lamborn topped with him and basically was just like, I don't need any gimmicks. I'm just going to run throws.
Yeah.
Big will go home.
I think Dimitri 2 probably still works. I know the Dimitri 2 that James played to top 4 teams is very turtly, interesting, very different.
What symbol was he on?
He was like Graven, Black Dogs.
Oh, so he was on Earth.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was that kind of thing, yeah.
Because I was thinking if you're playing him on Life now, you get the Puppeteer. So.
Yeah.
Of negative stolen as well.
Yeah, he gets to be Dimitri 1 without the flip. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Obviously, Plantman, Woodman, both still pretty good. Don't know how good Woodman getting people to deadlock is going to be anymore since he's a deadlock. He's dead.
Yeah, exactly.
I know people keep talking about Bison, but I'm not sold.
No, if his one ability was playable while committed, I think he would be a lot better. I think Rob had said something like that on one of our previous episodes.
I agree.
Yeah.
I can see Sheepman doing some interesting stuff, though.
Yeah.
Because he's just the same thing. Like, a lot of the Raiden stuff on Order is, like, really good. And obviously Evil got a ton of stuff. And then, he's like, what, Charge? So, I guess it's really just, like, a lot of the
Charge,
Raiden stuff.
Stun, and Slam. Charge Breaker, yeah.
And Breaker, yeah.
Oh, and I guess what's his name too? All the Sub-Zero stuff is all stun. So
yeah.
Yep. Like he definitely got a big boost on order. But yeah, I'm not sure.
Flash Shadow Kick as well.
Yeah.
Johnny Cage.
Yeah.
I mean, there's obviously the jury ace maneuver kind of thing. I know Baz has been playing that locally here, and it still packs a punch. But whenever I see that, I just think, why is it not Spike? like, I really do. Like,
I mean, that probably has like a little bit of a better time against hand cannon though, because don't you discard all the stuff as a cost, or is that effect?
I think
I don't know. It might be the once per turn. I have no idea. Chris is gonna look it up.
I'll look it up. Looking up jury, right? Is that what you're looking for? The once per game? Okay. I'll look it up. But while we're talking, Jasco finally they put out a blurb of like a few minutes ago, maybe an hour ago, about the turbo rules. The platinum cards that are base watermarked are not turbo legal. That was a typo, I guess. So they're bad. But hey, at least they addressed it. So
you guys play a lot of turbo in the UK?
No. I played turbo once at Gen Con 2015, and I will never touch it again.
Okay, so hers is R once per game : and then all the effects.
So it's all effect. Never mind.
Yeah.
Hand cannon gets hurt too.
Well, it says disability. Well, disability can't be canceled, so they still get to pitch the cards.
No,
because it doesn't.
It's not canceling it. It's just saying you
can't do it.
Cards.
Okay, cool. There we go, kids. Hand cannon's really good. So.
Hand cannon can't provoke it, but
hey, man, that'd be weird if you could. So going into like with those characters and all that, and with the influx of new players that you guys got, do you think it's going to be the same old names at the top tables, or do you think our resident future robot?
There's going to be a new name up there, and his name is Mike Hardiman. It's been 4 years, guys.
That kid, Mike Hardiman, has a lot of gusto. I think he's going to do it this year. But you guys going to have some...
top here. I've got a top eventually.
Well, you said yourself, though, like, the MK set has gotten you to play a lot more. So do you think that's been one of the things?
I wouldn't say play a lot more. Yeah. Like, it's just got other people building more.
Yeah.
I actually play less than we used to now, because we used to play on like Wednesdays and Friday nights.
Okay.
No, the Wednesday night doesn't happen anymore because people's work requirements and everything like that. Friday still happens, but we're now having like an actual event every month, at least in store. Okay. So we can play a little bit more.
That's cool.
Properly.
Now, one of the other things too is I know the format of your guys' nationals is a bit different than the majors in the U.S. If you want to go into that a bit too for the people over here that don't know.
I don't quite agree with that, to be honest, myself. I like that was more a certain person being like a couple of people there that were running the event that obviously.
Oh.
No, I'm not saying that the bad.
In the dirt.
No dirt or anything. Not saying the bad. Just that obviously they were running it based on other games rather than based on what UFS is and how it says to be run. And obviously we have Shane this year, so I think.
Oh, so you think that it might change? I was just talking about like that you guys have singles before teams, but
I thought you meant like time.
The times thing.
No. I'm
misunderstanding.
Yeah. So no, I think it will stay singles and teams. Basically, the main reason is because we do it over 2 days. Right. Singles is a longer event, so Saturdays are easier to have longer because some people have to leave on Sundays. So we tend to have teams on the Sunday because it doesn't take as long.
Oh, sure.
But yeah, that's the way. That's the reason we have it that way. If we had like a con that was appropriate for it or anything, I'd love to have the game there. But based on like holiday schedules and things like that, and as I say, people traveling, it's quite difficult.
Mm-hmm.
There's only like. Obviously, you guys have lots of different cons and events and things like that over there. We only really have one big, like, tabletop gaming convention per year, and that's in Birmingham, which is a trek even for us up here. So for like people further down, makes it even more difficult. So it's about trying to get the balance of where to have it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love for it to go around the country and everything like that. But the one time we had it outside of Sheffield, it was the worst attendance there's ever been.
Sure.
So I don't know how much that is because of where it was or anything like that. But with it being the lowest attendance, it makes it quite difficult to justify just moving everything around because there's a lot of people who can't travel.
Mm-hmm.
It's difficult.
Now, you guys are the reigning defending UK national champions. Am I not correct? I'm correct on that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So, are you guys preparing harder to maybe repeat?
Well, I guess is the team coming back together?
Is the team together?
Pushing it up.
Oh my gosh. Oh man, even after that stellar run in Vegas, even though you guys got booted in top 8, but or 4, but you guys were Swiss champs, right, at Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
well, we've got to have the reunion of champions, huh? Got to have the 2016 team champs back together.
Okay.
Second place 2015 team back together. Got to have that. Got to come back sometime. The reunion of champions. Look for that team name.
Okay. Now, I know, since you guys aren't on the same team, so it's maybe a little. I was going to ask, is it more important for you to win teams or singles? Go ahead, Dan. You can go first.
I'm not sure. I'd say probably singles.
Okay.
Because obviously, if you do well in singles, you sort of know that you've put all the hard work in the deck building.
Yeah.
And then you sort of feel more of an achievement knowing that you've done well there. Whereas with teams, it's sort of a case of if you know your deck's good, but then because what happened for me at US Nats is where in the first 2 rounds of teams, I'd won in 5 minutes. But then after that, for some reason, my deck just suddenly up-bricked and I couldn't really figure out why it happened. But then luckily I had Mike and Tigor to sort of help out with that. But I don't know, it's difficult.
Mike shaking his head. He's like, no.
My bad.
We get top down. That event means nothing. So
my bad. Well, it's my first event in the US, so
yeah.
But I'd say probably singles.
Okay, all right. Mike, you?
So obviously for me, it's a little bit different since I have won singles before.
That's sure.
I always and it's probably more teams for me because I've won teams 4 times. So it's got to be teams. I just like, having that feel of just all 6 of you being a group playing together effectively during that round is just more entertaining, more interesting to me than just a one-on-one.
Sure.
I did feel that in singles, in the teams finals last year. I did feel that.
Yeah, I know, in general, teams always feels more fun to me.
Yeah.
Whether you're doing well or, not, you at least, that's the thing, is, it's sort of other stuff where you're well, whether I do, well or not, at least there's, some other people that, care about, how I'm doing, and I care about how, they're doing, It's not just sort of well, I'm having a bad day, and I'm down here, bottom tables, my friends are way up there, just sort of you're off there by yourself.
Yeah.
But right with teams, you always have those other people where you're well, we're all in this together for better or worse.
Yeah. Yep. It's hey, it's all about the camaraderie, and I like I'm teaming with Mark and Tim Keefe for US Nats, and
this guy is trying so hard,
dude. I so want to win so bad. I want to win teams so bad. First because I've never had cardboard, which would be awesome, and then Mark has never had cardboard, so it'd be 2 new people on cardboard, which would be sweet. But I like the thought process we're having, in our chat, talking decks and just throwing stuff at a wall, and I think you really learn how other people go at it, I guess, build a deck, how they perceive cards and all that stuff. So your game kind of grows with that.
I think you see some more fun decks in teams as well because you don't have to worry. That's the thing is you don't have to worry about singles. It's you can be well, I know that I don't have a great matchup against Spike 2 or like I don't have a great matchup against like Quan Chi or something like that. But you know, like that's the thing is like in teams, like you could see one of those characters on like the other side, and like there's a pretty good chance you don't have to play that deck. You know, it's like depending on how the die roll goes, like if they pair differently or if you guys win, you can just say, I don't want to play this.
Yep.
And like as long as no one else on your team has like a worse matchup, then you're good. You know, you don't have to play like your really, really terrible matchups.
Yep.
So like you can sort of have a bit more fun when making the deck.
Yeah.
I think that's probably my main strategy when it comes to teams is you can have like that off the wall deck. I know first time I went to the US, Worlds 2014, I was teaming with Bo Tucker and Marco, and we ended up being I was K-Dash, Marco played Joe Hill, but this was before like he'd made that deck a thing, so nobody really knew it. So we were like, it's the off the wall kind of deck, and then Bo was playing Vespera, so we had two of the basically pillars of the meta, and then that third deck was something like, how do we pair into this?
Yeah.
Worked pretty well. I mean, we Swiss champed that as well. That was fun. My first event over there, and we get to Swiss champ it. But that tends to be the kind of way that I've carried with it way back when. Like in 2011, when I got my first card, we kind of just played whatever we wanted. Got a little lucky with matchups, pairings. Well, I didn't, they did, thankfully. But yeah, I always nowadays I always like to have that one pairing where they're like, how do we pair these? We've got to worry about these two, but then there's this. What does this do? And then if you do have those pillars, maybe they're doing something different. Like maybe it's not a death spike one, maybe it's live in the Bebop world or something.
Right.
Or, just so they think, oh yeah, I know exactly what that deck's going to do. And then you're like, it's not what I thought it was going to do.
Yeah, we actually got that at Worlds, not last year, but the year before, where we had a Yamato on our team, and everyone just assumed that it was like Wheel and Steel, because that was sort of like the popular build. But it was a Chaos Yamato that was like very much just like running like Ever Hopeful, Dodge, like Hyper Bomb.
That Dancing Flash too, right? He played Dancing Flash in that too, right?
Yep. Yeah. So it basically was like all about just like destroying your opponent's like staging area and like keeping them like low on resources, and just hitting them with like a bunch of like real fast, like 6 or 7 damage moves. And like he did great, right? Because like a lot of people just like weren't ready for it at all.
We lost Mike. No,
we lost Mike.
Mike,
give me back. I'm still here. Don't worry. I haven't lost me yet.
We haven't lost you. Okay. I'll add him back. Let's see here.
He'll be back.
I'll call him back. So, but yeah, that's the one thing about teams that I like is that you can just. He said his laptop froze, so he'll come back.
I gotcha.
That's one thing about teams that I like is that you get those weird decks like the Sniper Joe. Was Sniper Joe debuted at Worlds this past year? The Sniper Joe deck was like an off the wall thing. I know like Faye had been a thing, but like not the Graven Castle, I believe, right? Was Mike?
I don't know if that was teams or singles.
Cause I know I lost to Mike playing that in round 1, so I know that it was I think it was the Graven Castle build, maybe. I don't know, but there's just you get those weird because you'll have 2 pillars of the meta decks on your team, maybe, and then you'll have that third. Well, we don't know what to do about this, and then if that deck wins some matchups, which is great, or it may just bomb out. But that's why you usually pair it with like 2 really good decks. So while we're waiting for Mike, Dan, what's your strategy going into singles? Other than just win it, but like, do you have like a set plan? You are you testing X amount of characters, or are you just sticking with a couple decks? And
I think at the moment I'm in a case of just sort of like trying to find. I'm just sort of building decks about characters that I think I would like.
Okay.
And then sort of like if it does well, just sort of, or if it loses in the first few rounds, I won't mind. Because that way you sort of figure out a ground of sort of like know where to change it as and where.
Yeah.
So you sort of know what cards needs to come in, what needs to go out, and then you pretty much go like back to UFS Ultra wherever you build your decks, and then sort of play a few test hands, see how it works, and take it to your locals, see how it works again, and then again if it works, you try and make it as good as you can be.
Mm-hmm. Now,
or if you fit like.
Oh, go ahead.
So that's when I initially got Kotal Khan, I was like, I'd really love to play him, and pretty much since Worlds, which was in May. Yeah, I've pretty much had a Kotal Khan build that I'm still to this day trying to sort of get him as good as he can be.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there are some people that like have a deck and then build it, loses once, and then take it apart and never look at it again. But obviously, when you find you can sort of tell when you sort of play the character once, you can sort of get a good feel for it, so you sort of know whether you'll down the line, you'll keep it for longer than say 3 months or hell, even up to a year even.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And over the course of the meta, however much it changes, just amend it as and where you can, sort of compensate for changing the meta, so to speak. So.
I gotcha.
Yeah. Well, I think at the moment, the main two, like I said earlier, is mainly Liu Kang and Kotal Khan.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to. It probably more likely will be like one of those two that I play for singles, but it's just a case of because sometimes it'll be like I make the decision on the day, which I did last year, and I wish I hadn't. I played Lilith last year for singles.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I really wish I played base instead because that was the only base there. If I would have played him.
Oh, sure.
So, but then obviously you live and learn. It worked out in the end because I played him for teams and it all worked out that way. So that's all good.
That's an interesting character that while you we're waiting on Mike, Base hasn't really been at the forefront, since pre-Bebop for the most part. Maybe
Yeah.
Do you think like Power Flip gives him anything? Like it's an Earth safe attack, but
I think Hit sort of was his final nail in his coffin because obviously he loses all of his power, which was safe.
Oh, sure.
Obviously, but he probably could play Power Flip with him.
Mm-hmm.
But I think with obviously Fatality as well. Just strips all of his stuff at target for Dark Laser and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd say there probably is a build there for base somewhere, but I'm not sure where it is yet. But it's difficult because obviously there was a point where he was like one of the pillars of the format.
Yeah.
And then literally Bebop come in and it's literally kicked him to one side. He's over there, doing his own thing, and then you got Spike, Vicious, like Jet and Faye. It's sort of like, we're the pillars now.
Yeah. And then Ed and Nine goes, well, we discard cards better than you, so you're not needed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess between base and Sub-Zero or something.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you rather play Sub-Zero?
Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
Sort of right. In terms of 6-hand size aggro or 6-hand size big damage, there are a lot of options, and base is somebody there. It seems like they keep printing hate for him, and it's nobody's been playing. It's
we just want to make sure we're not
it's we needed this 3 sets ago, not
not
anymore.
Yeah, I know. For the MCS, he was just the terror monster for the MCS. Base was the pillar, and after Dimitri got banned, but Base was.
It was after Blood Omen came out, wasn't it? Though that he sort of saw his rise to fame, wasn't it?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, because I think I want to say
there was Gabrek too that gave him all his,
he got the throws. Is what he got sliding ankle breaker out of it, and then he was able to just dump 10 damage on it, and then people ate 5 to 10 damage on it.
So all this stuff came out, and all of a sudden somebody, I think, Phil Birch put all these cards together and thought, wait, hold on, this guy is kind of terrifying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
sort of from there, really, didn't it?
Another character that's kind of dropped off is Dr. Wily 2. Hey, look, he's back.
Yeah. Oh, he's back. With a Hulk face.
With the Hulk face this time. Huzzah. Welcome back. Whatchamacallit? Dr. Wily, we're talking about characters who've kind of dropped off out of the meta while you were gone. We mentioned Base, and then Dr. Wily 2's kind of disappeared off of, there was one at Worlds in May, but he hasn't made a big splash, even though he got he got some cards out of MK.
Yeah,
Did he get some Scorpion stuff now?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got that, and he also, I think he has like 2 ally throws now, I believe.
Minion grab one of them, yeah.
And then Demon, the Demon
Telechoke or whatever.
Yeah. No, it's the not Telechoke, it's the Quan Chi throw. Demon something, right?
Demon grab and Minion grab are the 2 throws he's got.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then like
Demon grab the Quan Chi one, yeah.
Yeah, I think Demon grab ends up being like what 1 high for like 6 or something after if he makes the check.
And he can't. Yeah, he can't play actions during.
It doesn't count towards progressive as well.
Yeah, yeah. I think the only issue is it doesn't have a block, so I don't know if he's gonna,
Well, none of the throws in Mortal Kombat have blocks.
Ah, so that's interesting. Okay,
they've figured that out a little bit after like printing a ton of them for like Gabrick and Spider Suplex and some of these other ones. And you're just like, why do these all have blocks? Like, okay, whatever, sure.
Yeah. Let's see, what else? Is there anything? What else do you want to talk about UK Nets, Rob? Do you have anything else you'd like to talk to, or any of you guys got some? I've kind of run out of my wants to talk about, so if you guys got anything you just want to bring up,
I guess something we could talk about is like some of the more known players. I guess, like obviously not a lot of crossover over there. Obviously, you know me, you know Grant, you know Dan.
Yep.
We're like the only ones that have really gone out there, once or even more than once. So obviously people know us, but don't really know anybody else.
Sure.
So
they know Rio through.
They know Rio. Everybody knows Rio.
You can't not know Rio.
Yeah, I'm actually contemplating. I want to come out next year because I really just want to come and hang out and experience UK UFS, and then I get to meet Rio, which is pretty cool. So I hear good things. So
experience.
Yeah, he seems like a pretty cool dude. So he could bench press me and then throw me into a table. I have no problem with that. So
probably, not gonna lie.
No, I'm pretty sure he probably could. So. But I know like Baz is someone that a lot of people don't know. Like I've never met him personally, but I know he's posted a bunch of stuff on the UK page and. We're now a meme, so that's pretty cool, I guess. So.
I think Dan should probably start with a couple of his guys.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, obviously you got Rio. You've got his brother Ricky, who's been playing since the start, like when I did, and he's like one of the nicest people you could ever meet.
Yeah.
Nobody can say a bad thing about him because he's not a bad bone in his body.
He's very casual person as well.
Like if you go to a tournament and like you're a newer player and like you find it a bit like see all these people, but Ricky will literally go out of his way to sort of make you feel welcome, sort of thing.
Cool.
And like everyone, nobody hates him. You can't hate him. Anyone who does hate him is
bad people.
Yeah.
Anyone who does hate him, you don't want to know those people. So.
Fair enough.
Exactly. They've got players now that don't play as often as they used to, but they still like to play every now and then. Obviously, you've got friend Matt Clark, he came second in was it 2015 and 16?
Was that with Leona?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. He didn't play very often, but he sort of, after seeing like some of this like reptile support, he's sort of like, maybe because that reptile, fuck reptile. Got another guy, Lee, who doesn't on Facebook or Discord.
Sure.
But he doesn't play like the best decks, but he just likes to have fun. Like that's what the game's about, really. And it's about having fun. He may not have the best track record in tournaments, but he just likes to have a bit of fun.
Okay.
So
the Lee who
yes.
Yeah, came third when Grant won.
Yeah, with Lilith, yeah.
And then didn't he come second in teams once as well, or am I thinking of someone else?
You're thinking of someone else.
Okay, I thought he teamed with Joe that year. Okay.
That was the year when can't remember. Was it 2014? Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Other than that, you've got obviously Joe's brother Oliver, who obviously because of his work schedule didn't really have much time to do like any card games or anything. But because he's now got like a promotion at his work, he's now got a lot more time available to him.
Oh, cool.
Funny how that works, right?
I know, right?
I got a promotion and now I just have so much time.
Exactly. He's very happy with Mortal Kombat because obviously there's a lot of characters there he does like.
Cool.
Obviously, there's a few characters there that not in the set that he's unhappy about, but he's okay with that. But I think the one character he's mainly intrigued with at the moment is Scorpion with Copy Samba.
Okay, sure.
Which is not fair. Because at the moment he's sort of in the same process that I am, sort of like trying to find like the right character to fit his style. Fit your style, then sort of work around it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's mainly Scorpion and Yamato Man he's looking at. Because obviously that's very stable characters for what they do.
Mm-hmm.
With sort of game style. Get a couple of others that, again, due to work schedule, only come up like once a month. They just play like stuff out of Turbo decks. They just have a bit of fun. And obviously, sometimes when everyone sort of gets together, it's sort of like sometimes we have like little casual tournaments. Like put a few booster packs in, and if you win a round, like if you're a newer player, you get a pack.
Cool.
But other than that, that's pretty much, unfortunately, the Colchester player base from what it used to be around 10 to 12 sort of dwindled down to like about 5 or 6 people.
Sure.
So sort of like when everyone does turn up at the local shop, it's a case of just like let's have some casual games or have a little tournament. So.
Well, it's more than what Rob has, so that's a plus. So it's more than what Rob has. So. Go ahead, Mike. If Dan's done, go ahead. You want to talk about some of your guys?
First one may as well be that as our team's to in the UK, White Richard Bazendale. He is a long time, pretty much day one player. He's obviously he won teams with me in 2016. He's the king on the card, and he won teams way back when. In 2008, so he's one of the 3 on Patriot games.
Oh, was that the one at Gen Con?
Yeah, the last Gen.
Yeah. We came second that year. That was a wicked event. That was.
So he obviously he didn't get to play for a long time because he was running the events under Jasco. And if it wasn't for him and basically Patriot, who took it upon themselves to distribute the game throughout the UK, game would have been dead a long time ago. Long time ago. So props to him for everything. Like he ran 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014. This includes any legacy events that were there as well when that was a format. So, but he's probably like the player I play with the most out of everybody. Like him and Grant, because they're the ones who make it like pretty much every week. He tends to play off the wall, crazy stuff. Sometimes it's horrendous. Sometimes it's absolute garbage. But there is no in between. It's either hot garbage or it's absolutely amazing. But yeah, so I was teamed with him a few times since he's not had to run it anymore. And then we've got Dave Hancock. He came across with me in Gen Con 2015. Good guy, fun guy, willing to do a lot for people. Doesn't play very often.
Can confirm.
But yeah, he doesn't play very often, but whenever he does play, he always plays something ridiculous.
Did he play like that CA deck like a couple years ago that was like 1 million characters? Or was
No.
Okay.
That was he did play C in 2015 UK and came like.
Okay.
But that was like a void, control, maximal laser, hide my attacks, do weird stuff.
Yeah, he was running that insane like 59 card like Ava deck last year.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh yeah, we've talked about this, but nobody's built it less than like 80 or 90 cards. And it's just like, nope. It's like
that's nuts.
As low as it could be.
Yeah.
I was definitely like the deck that weekend. I felt like just
I'm quite happy we managed to keep that kind of quiet for a little while, like because he'd been playing that for like 2 months after I gave him the idea, and he ruined all my decisions for that year's now. Every single decision I had, like he ruined my tournament experience there. But yeah, so he doesn't get to play very often. That was actually the second time he played Eva. He top 4'd the year before with a 120 card Evil deck that beautiful memory people to death for like 20.
That'd be a good opera.
Building his own dragon flares in Natali meta with Chasm Busters and all these crazy things. It was really, really good deck, but he probably would have got to the finals, but he bricked like 3 turns in a row. He's like top 4s every year. Love to see him do better, but I don't think he's just found the right thing yet.
He's got that foundation, right?
Yeah, he's one side.
Yes.
He broke Legacy. Yeah, that killed my tournament experience for that one as well. He broke Legacy. That deck is one of the reasons that it's not a format anymore.
Isn't the video for that still on YouTube?
It was never on YouTube. It's on Facebook, but it's like obviously it was Baz who uploaded it to his personal account. Yeah. So it's not really there. But if you're a friend with him, you can see it, and I'm sure he can make it public somehow. But yeah, it's around. So it's just Rio looking miserable as Dave put his entire deck into his card pool on turn 2.
That was like 20 minutes of one turn. Is that what is this?
Yeah, that was the best part.
It's like because I had to take the video. So during the video, someone's like, "Is he gone off here?" I was like, "You tell me. I'm just watching. I'm everyone else's."
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, Grant's part of my group. He only started playing when Rise of the Masters came out. So he's only been playing for 3 years now. He made a jump quick from being a scrub to actually be able to win games. So that's my proudest moment of my play group. And we got a few players locally who like play every now and again, play quite regular, vanish for a while and then just reappear and play more and all these kind of things. Don't think they'd really up there yet, but they're good enough to potentially top. That's the thing. And then I'll talk a little bit about the Doncaster group as well, because I say that
go ahead.
My group. We've got Nathan Squire, who's always on the cusp of like top cutting. He likes to play weird, crazy things, like a metal man that he used to call Attack Man, which is one of the top viewed, top commented, top rated decks on UFS Ultra. That have like pretty much no foundations, and he continues to try and make that a real thing to this day, which I appreciate it of. And the man does not check badly. He does not, like, no cheating, just does not check badly.
It's like the UK's answer to giggles, huh?
Yeah.
Basically.
Oh, wow.
Oh, dream match, make it happen.
Just have to make it like the most.
We might have to just make it like a fatal 3-way or whatever with Big Johnson as well.
Yeah.
He's got a little bit of that magic.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'd probably say he's more comparable to the Big Johnson look than the Giggles look. The Giggles look. I'm not going into that. I remember this is his favourite story when we played UK Nats 2016. I was playing something awful. He was playing Iceman, Water, Tengu Dive, and all these things. He only had 3 checks in his discard pile. Plays a Tengu Dive. Combo, draw 1. 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 He drew each of these Tengu Dives off of the Tengu Dives and check 5s.
That's almost like too perfect. That sounds fake.
Trust me.
Fake news.
That
fake
was my
news.
turn 2 in game 3 that stopped me from top cutting that year.
Did you table flip?
You are?
Did you table flip?
I was close. But no, like he's one of the guys that I'll play with quite regular when he's available and he pops across. There are a few other people that don't get to play too often. I know Alan Witherden. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it to Nats or not, but he used to play a lot. He was the one for a long time, from like tail end of 2013 through to when he had to move for work at the start of 2016. He was the one who gave me like the best games I could have, and like one who like if I can beat whatever jank Alan's playing, I know I've got a decent deck. So they're probably the names that I'd look out for most and hope to see do well. There's a few people dotted around that I know, like JP from Newcastle, he's up and comer. Obviously, Michael Murray posts quite often in the UK group.
Yep.
So I know he's pretty decent. He almost top cutted his first Nats in last year. Actually, I think he'd only been playing for a few months and very almost top cutted. I think
he was playing for that. I can't remember. Was that him?
I think he was playing Blank. Was it Blanca? I honestly don't remember that entire event. But yeah, so I think looking to see what he went with. And then we've got Jordan. It's pronounced Savage, I think, but it's spelled quite odd, from Manchester. He's the one who actually played that C deck a few years ago, Rob.
Okay.
I know you love that deck.
I just remember seeing that deck, and because that was sort of when I was like still newer, and like I'd always sort of like heard the stories, like, oh, the UK guys, like, they just do weird stuff, and I just saw that like CA deck, and I was like, stories were true.
Yeah, you definitely get some weird things.
I think I played that in round 3 as well. That CA deck.
I know. So there's a few people talk out like a lot of the names I've seen top cut, like Alan top cut quite a lot, but he actually lets Games Workshop now. He runs a store in a tiny little town in the middle of nowhere, so he doesn't actually get to play anymore really. But when he does, he's always like on the cusp of topping even now. So hopefully we'll get to see him up there. One person I forgot. Kev the Brit Beetle. How can I forget that, man? Very little time. Actually, used to work for Sabretooth Games in the UK. So he actually designed the game and worked with the game and everything, promoted the game over here for a long time. Thankfully, he finally got on tournament legal cardboard thanks to Garrett with Squishy Wizards. Obviously not legal anymore, so he's going to have to do it again soon. Doesn't get to play very often at all. Usually can't make singles due to his 6-day-a-week job in a school, which still confuses me to this day.
That's pretty confusing.
Open on Saturdays.
Yeah.
But yeah, always a good guy. Always a pleasure to play with. Always a pleasure to be around as well. So, yeah, maybe we can see a few of those names.
Cool. Somewhere,
hopefully. And I didn't bother talking about Rio because obviously Dan didn't talk about Rio either, but we all know Rio. He likes his muscles. He likes his Earth symbol.
He likes his throws. Yes, he does.
Doesn't like seven-handers. Doesn't like omni-blocks. Doesn't like... I don't know.
He must love... He must love Outworld Marketplace.
We'll find out on that.
So I'm still waiting for him to play Goro, but he's saying he's not going to play Goro. Doesn't play Goro, I'm going to be disappointed.
I'm going to go out and probably say he's probably going to end up playing Johnny. I can see that, but...
No. He won't play Johnny. He doesn't think Johnny's good. Loses the bag, doesn't it?
Yeah, so. Well, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, true.
Oh,
true.
Yeah, Jack Lamborn. Forgot about Jack.
Oh, yeah.
About Jack. Good guy. Never got to spend too much time with Jack, I must admit, because he didn't play for a while. Came back last year for the first time in 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Top 8 singles, top 4 teams. Always a contender.
Just playing Guile for that, wasn't he?
Yeah, Guile and Sasquatch. So, yeah, hopefully he'll be around.
Best mustache in the business, too.
Definitely best mustache in the business.
Yeah.
I wish I could grow facial hair like he can. I just get stubble and then stop.
If you get him like a top hat, it could be like Bad Perot or something, couldn't it? That'd be wicked. But yeah.
I think he likes his big Earth throw decks. I don't think he'd play Mad Pro somehow.
A wafy seven-hander, as Rio would put it.
Hey, he's not that wafy.
No, he's not. He's not wafy.
Production.
No, he's not. Yeah, I know. He's not that wafy. But okay, do you guys should get some of the Scotland guys coming down? You don't know most of them. Yeah. Do you know?
Last I heard, there's like 7 of them. Okay. Hopefully, that actually more. And Michael's managed to rummage some more up.
Yeah,
they didn't actually get to stay for teams last year, which was very unfortunate. But I think they're planning to stay the full weekend this year. Hopefully, we get some time like outside of the game with them as well.
Mm-hmm.
because they didn't. Obviously, they had a pretty round trip last year. But hopefully, get to spend more time with them. Hopefully, get to spend a lot more time with a lot of people.
They're pretty active. Like that's Michael Murray's group, right? That's his group.
Yeah.
They're pretty active on the Facebook page, and man, they've been talking some crap. Through their premier store events, they're thinking they're going to come down and just roughshod you guys, huh?
Yeah. I appreciate the trash talk. I don't really partake in it myself because I can't. I'm rubbish at it. Maybe it's a Scotland thing, that they drink a little more up there. They're man enough to wear kilts, so I don't know. Maybe it's a Scotland thing.
101, Mark Hardiman.
Cool. Well, I'm looking. Is there going to be a stream this year? Do you know by chance?
I think Patriot is starting to do streams. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm hoping at the very worst I can get some recordings and upload it to the.
That's cool.
I know that I think Rio's taking his camera, so he wants to record the finals of one of either singles or teams.
Good.
At the very least, I can probably set my phone up as a camera as to record because my phone is amazing.
That's what I do. I do all my stuff with my phone. That's all.
Yeah.
Perfect.
But there is actually there was a UK YouTube for it that I set up a couple of years ago that has one video on it, but it's there.
Nice. So I know that because that's usually like the first question anyone says about is there going to be a stream? So
at least everyone asks it.
But no, but like even if like a recording, of finals or whatever, I think that's great. And you guys got Shane and JT. I'm pretty sure they'll post updates, regularly because they've been pretty good about that. So,
if not, you can probably get someone from the store doing that as well.
It's always nice just getting even just character breakdowns.
Yeah, because with the new meta, that's going to be people are going to be really interested. Yeah, because
Sally last year did a pretty good job at keeping pet standings and everything up and throughout the event. So can't. No qualms with that or anything.
Yeah.
And obviously, Shane's going to be there to make sure all rulings are correct. I know that was a bit of an issue. And when the judge actually comes to you to ask for certain rulings, it's a bit awkward.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. A bit.
I'm trying to play.
Yeah.
But as I say, that shouldn't be a problem this year. And obviously, it's going to be great. Shane and JT being there. A couple of times we have actually had Jason Cardy come up now.
Oh, yeah.
Just hang out, brings art prints with him, or sign cards, do anything you want for him.
I got a United Against Terrorism print from him last year.
Rob showed me that. I was quite jealous because that's a cool looking card.
That was
Turns out Charlie is on the card. Who knew?
Is he? Where's he at? To the bottom?
He's in the background.
He's in the background, huh? Oh, wow.
That's impressive. I know the first time he came up, he got an entire Vincent Gray starter deck and just signed every single one of those. That was cool. And they just gave that out as extra cool little prize things. And he'd do commissioned sketches for you while you're there.
Oh, that's rad. Yeah.
I know Jack Lamborn actually got a Venom sketch while he was there as well. Someone else got a Raiden wrestling a Goro sketch that he did in 10-15 minutes. It looked amazing.
Yeah.
The guy is talented, and I'm I'm hoping he can make it again.
Did he do most of Mature's cards? He did most of Mature's and Vice's cards, right?
Yeah, he did a lot. He did everything of Vincent Gray's as well from Horizon.
Yeah.
He did both he did the Street Fighter Turbo decks too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did. I think almost all of them, right?
Yeah, he did.
Was it all? I don't know if it was all of them or not, but it was. I know it was a ton.
Characters, but it was the rest of it.
The rest of the set. Yeah, his art's really good. Yeah, he's a very good artist.
I still have the Vincent Gray I won with that year, and he signed by him, and he actually put on really unique and everything, UK Champ 2012 and everything. So awesome.
Cool! That's awesome. Yeah, that's very exciting. I wish that we could get an artist to come out, but for Worlds and stuff, because I think people would dig that, because that's a really neat touch, Because
it's really cool. I was really disappointed because I was supposed to bring a bunch of stuff for certain people that year. Yeah, and I lost the deck box that it was in. I wasn't supposed to stay at my home because I just moved, and my home is an hour away travel now from the city centre, and I was going to stay at my parents for the weekend because it was only 20 minutes. But I decided I was going to go home, I wanted to sleep in my own bed, just have a good night's sleep. On my own, she was away, so you can't say anything like that. I saw those smirks, and I'd taken like deck boxes out, and I was building my deck like 1 a.m. because that's apparently what I do now for singles.
So a lot of people do. No shame in that.
There's shame when you think a card works one way and it doesn't actually work that way. I'll tell you. And you find out the hard way in round 1 of the event. So I left the deck box on the table as I ran out of the house the next morning, which had a bunch of cards that I was supposed to lend out to people. It had a deck for someone, so I had to give them something else. That deck had my 4 Kokoshos in it. I really wanted them to get signed by Jason that year, and I just couldn't. So hopefully he's there this year. I get that.
Cool. Anything else, Rob?
I guess we gotta close it out, right?
Yeah,
ask our esteemed guests. So, do you think that UK Nationals will be won by a UK citizen this year, or a dirty, filthy North American?
Well, go on, Dan. You can start this. I know you trashed up.
I would like to see somebody new on cardboard, but knowing that Kevin and Tim Keefe are coming over, it's like, okay, this ain't going to be easy, but if we can beat them, we can beat them. But yeah, I think I'd like to see somebody new on cardboard this year.
Sure. Who do you think? What character's gonna win your Nats? Like, what do you have? I know we kind of said top 3s and stuff, but if you can put your finger on one character, who's winning it?
I want to say Quan Chi.
That's a Guile Treatment's pick for the win too, by the way.
I hate Quan Chi so much.
He is pretty filthy. I think after playing her last night and seeing what she can do, I think Melina. Actually, she seemed like, even with the awful build I had that just rushes to desperation as fast as possible. She's got game.
I mean, that might even be something that Tim Keefe ends up playing too. I know that he's like
pretty high on her.
His sort of like favorite character out of MK. So I'm sure he's been working on that deck. So
yeah,
there you go.
If not her, or if not Quan Chi, because Quan Chi was my second choice, I think Spike One would still take it if it wasn't one of those two.
Okay. Now to go to Rob's question, does a brethren from the UK win, or does one of our esteemed filthy Americans come over and win it?
So I want to say
this is so hard for him to say it too. It really is.
He's like, oh.
He's like, I don't know, but yeah, we're going with
It's gonna be us.
I want to say it because obviously everybody wants to win. I want to.
Oh, of course. Yes.
I want to show something myself. Like I want to show that I can actually, still do well in a singles event.
Yeah. No.
Over here. Yeah. Because top 16 over that side of the pond's pretty easy for the most part, unless you try to spike off of the wrong symbol.
Ouch.
But I think obviously with the quality of the people coming over, obviously Kevin, Tim, I think it's 50-50.
Okay.
Like US or UK. I can't give any better odds than. If I would say 51 in favor of US winning to 49 UK winning, if I had to push it.
See, you guys just need to get some people to take them out in rounds, and then you're good.
There you go.
To say I'm losing 2 weeks practice for UK nuts, so it's not going to be me.
All right, well,
We'll
cool.
do what we can.
That's all you can do is you guys got to play the match in front of you. That's all you can do. Okay, so we'll close it out. Mike, Dan, thanks for joining us. I know you guys are busy today and stuff, and I know Rob, thanks for waking up and joining. Appreciate it as always.
Yeah, man.
So I don't know. I think we may wait a week or two, or we may wait till after Virginia to do the next podcast. I don't know unless Rob has something very pressing.
I got some ideas.
You got some stuff? Good, because I'm kind of plumb out until we have other events and stuff. I can't keep talking about the same thing. So, and my locals, you know, I just can't talk. Oh, I got a Premier Store event coming up next weekend, so I can talk about that. So,
I mean, we'll either. I think I got to talk to Scott. We're either gonna go to. There's a Premier Store event in Virginia,
sure.
So we might go see that.
Okay.
You know, try to scope out the PTC a little bit, see if you know what new decks are getting played.
Okay.
Or if not that, like there's a possibility we could go up to Rochester. They're doing their little like
SummerSlam
August
thing.
training and board games and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So,
that's something I got too. I'm going to Cincinnati in the middle of September for some Nats. Some Nats rounds with Slam and the indie guys, and I think Michigan's coming out too. So, gonna get some reps in. So hopefully by then I'll know what I'm playing. So, because I have no idea right now.
See, he will, and then he'll change his mind after it.
Always.
He'll change it like 15 times.
Oh yeah. Mike and Dan know this. Like I'm like I think I'm gonna play this, and then 10 minutes later I'm like, no, I want to play this. There's just too much fun stuff to play. There just really is.
Exactly.
It's just right.
That's a good sign.
And it is a good thing. It's a good. It's very good. So, all right, guys.
A lesson.
All right. So again, thanks for joining us, everyone, and like, comment, subscribe on the channel, please. Do that. So. And go follow Mike's UK video thing on YouTube because it probably only has like one person.
I don't even know what it's called.
Yes. So just look it up. We'll probably find it. So
I think it's like UFS UK videos or something rubbish like that.
There you go. Go look for it, kids, and give it a few likes and some subscribes.
You just gotta find like some of these old videos on Facebook and move them over to YouTube and get some stuff from this weekend, and
there you go
on your way.
Yeah. All right, everyone.
Keep going with the idea of maybe I'll make something. Maybe I'll actually start posting videos to it. And I'm like, nah, got better things to do.
Some of us have free time, I guess. So, you know. But anywho, all right, everyone, have a good night.
All right.
Bye.
Laters.